So we all are made up of unique things, individual, which make us. Today's video is about your blueprint, what your parents have left upon you and what you will leave upon your children. Greetings and welcome back to Karnak Holistics, where we learn together and we grow together in the sight of God. So today I'm going to speak about your blueprint. Before I go any further, my name is Jay and I'm welcoming you here. I just got the intro the wrong way around, but anyway, let's just crack on with it. So I bet you're wondering what on earth is a blueprint. This was inspired by my grandson, my first grandson, Jace. He has the embodiment, or his blueprint is from what my blueprint and obviously of his grandmother's blueprint. So I want to just talk about your ancestors, to your parents, to you, and to your others, obviously to your children. So I was speaking today to a few people, and obviously over the last couple of weeks I've been speaking also to people who are really analysing and reviewing themselves as individuals and who they are and what they're about, basically. And one of the big things is what their blueprint is. So who were they, who are the descendants, and who were their parents, and obviously what would they leave behind? Obviously, because as you grow older, you start thinking about what is your ancestry and what's your legacy that you're going to leave for your children. I know I think about that, about Jace and what Jace is going to view me to, how Jace is going to view me when he's older, and obviously when he sees my videos, and if God blesses me that I'm around as he's growing up. So a massive thing was for me is to point out what to be proud of. So I'm just speaking to you as a black man in this cultural society who is quite aware of his position and who he is. And what I wanted to say is that be proud of who you are. Be proud if you're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, and whatever color you are. Be proud of your features. If you're Chinese, be proud of the way you look. Be proud of your height. Be proud of your features. I know they're different to everybody else's, and everyone may not understand it and may call you names and may be a certain way with you, but you know what? Two fingers up to him, because you are beautiful. You was created by the Supreme Being. You are perfect in every form, no matter what people say. Whether you believe or not. Now let me just tell you something. Did you know that the word beautiful, or the definition, or what people class as beautiful, is created by medias, or created by a group of people of middle-aged white people, basically, who obviously put out on fashion and all those what beautiful deems to be. Now I know many people that class certain people as beautiful, and others may go, to them they're not so beautiful. But a black woman with big lips, with puffy cheeks, and obviously afro hair is beautiful. A white woman, straight hair, smaller lips, and probably a bigger nose or smaller nose, depends, beautiful. A black man, big lips, bald head or hair, again, beautiful. An Asian man, I'm saying Pakistani or Indian, their features, their dark skin, the brown skin, the straight hair, beautiful. The Italians, their olive skin, beautiful. Their features, beautiful. Every one of those is created in the image of God. Everything we all have, everything you look at is created by the Supreme Being. So the other thing is that if you look into the mirror, and you can do this next time you're near a mirror or you're getting dressed in the morning, look into the mirror and try and pick out your parents' features. Try and see if you've got your dad's nose, your mum's eyes, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you think about it, their descendants or their ancestors get filtered into a funnel, and it goes into your parents. So when it comes to your parents, you are a representation of features of all your ancestors rolled into you. So as it goes on, as it's been coming from generation to generation to generation, and it's been mixed until you get your parents, your mum and your dad, and then they unite, and then they create you. You are an ancestors of one side of the family and another side of this family. So all these unique things, like if there's a black man, he has all the embodiment of his black parents. If you've got a white lady, she's an embodiment of all her kind of descendants. And if you've got an Hispanic, or you've got a Chinese, or if you've got kind of like a Latino and a black person, they, when they get together, they create a beautiful child who is perfect. Don't let anyone says, be true to who and what you are. Because if you can't be true to who and what you are, you're not being true to God, and you're definitely not going to be able to excel and strive and move forward. Just be who you are. Have a unique own self of what you are, who you are, what you are about. Ask the why. Why am I here? Why am I created? What is my features about? Why am I created as this individual? Why am I a black man? Why wasn't I being born white? Why wasn't I being born Chinese, or so on? Why? Ask these questions, and also ask why and what it is that you want to do with your life. Look at have a big sense of self. Focus upon what you are and what you want to become. Because if you can't focus upon who and what you become, you're going to struggle, and it's going to be an uphill battle. Half the battle of winning any battle is recognizing that there's going to be a battle, obviously. And the other thing is that what your equipment is and who and what you have. Because if you don't know what you have and what you can use to move forward, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck in this chaos that is you. And I see so many times when I read for people that goes, you're really confused about stuff. Like, this stuff you should know. It's about you. Find out who you are. You need to go back to self. But I love this person. How can you love somebody if you're so confused within yourself? You know, find out who you are. Find out what you're about. And it will come easier to love and find that unique twin flame of soulmate. If you are, as you grow older, you do a certain job. You want to be a road sweeper. You want to be a doctor, a carpenter, a chef, a waitress, a waiter, or a housekeeper, or a banker, or any form of job. Make sure you do it to your best ability. Don't do it half-heartedly. If you can't do it to the best of your ability, I can't see what's the point in doing it. When you're in this, in order to find and to strive forward, you need to turn around and strive and look at why and what you're doing, and if you can love it to grow forward. Right now, you know, so many people just do the job for the sake of doing a job. But you need to look at your own, look at your own and understand your own sense of self. When you understand your own sense of self, then you can start to create and find the employment, find the job, and be the best at what you're going to be. If you're a black road sweeper, be the best black road sweeper. If you're a Hispanic chef, be the best Hispanic chef. If you're going to be a banker and you're Italian, be the best Italian banker. Make yourself proud. Almost do it for your own race. Do it for the human race. Do it for your own culture. And be the best in what you can be. There's a saying in the black community that each black person represents their blackness. So when I mean, for example, as a black person and you're in a white environment, that I represent my black people and how I have to portray them, which is the biggest load of bullshit I can ever come across. It is. That saying that the white environment is more purer than a black environment, which is utter bullshit. The reality is like there's no kind of environment, black or white, is better than anybody else. We are individuals. We are in the sight of God. God chooses us to be who we want to be. So when you're working for you're going to work for for example, a black business, a white person won't come and go, well, I got to act a certain way in order to represent my people. No, why do we as black people, not just black people actually, Asians, Chinese, all these ethnic people of descent seem to have to conform to be representative of their race? What a crock of shit. What a crock of rubbish. It is just utter bull, you know. And I represent myself, and I represent my kids, and I represent my mum and my dad. You know, they're the ones that raised me. I love my community and love my culture. I love it. And everyone knows it. But I don't have to turn around and be a black man representing my black faith, my black people, and all. It's just rubbish, you know. And anyone who turns around and says that's how you should be, they need to analyze themselves, because why should you be going into an environment and then you're there having to represent your culture to these people who are probably going to be cast, if they're casting doubt on you, and they're going to be looking at you that you have to represent your culture. They're racist. I'm sorry, they are racist, because they already have this preconception about who we are and what we are when we're just human. But we don't have a preconception about those. What we just know is like, oh, we're going to get a load of questions about a colour, a hair colour, our type of hair, our face, our features, and other bits and pieces about our body or about our culture and our food. So rubbish, crap. We are human. We are who we are. Strip this away, we are just the same energy. We bleed, we cut the same, we bleed the same, we cry the same, you know, we love the same. And when we die, we go to the same place. So you need to just check yourself if you think you need to represent yourself. Be proud of who you are as an individual. Don't let anyone look at you and disrespect you. Don't let anyone disrespect you and who you are. You need to put your purpose down. You need to have this blueprint. You know, you need to have a blueprint, a map, a roadmap about your future. Because when you go into the big wide world and you're a young individual, and I've worked with young individuals before, counseling, coaching and mentoring, and I always say you need to think about what you want to be and where you want to finally arrive at and what you want to achieve. Because if you're still stuck and you're still running around in this wet world trying to just be and just, oh, something could happen and hopefully something will happen. No, you need to try and find out what it is that you are and who you are. And the only way you can do that is by analysing yourself. So a lot of the work I do is looking at them as themselves. A lot of the people I work with, even today, when I go back to whether I'm doing a reading or I'm doing coaching, I'm going back to the sense of self. Why? The question is, why are you sitting there? And let's look at that blueprint of why you're sitting there. Let's analyze your blueprint. Let's have a look at your blueprint and where you've gone wrong in order to find your next step in what direction you should go in. Because if you can't find out your direction you're going in and you don't have a blueprint, and we need to find your blueprint and then work with that. Because once you've got those and you can look at your different changes that you can achieve, then you can strive and move forward. You know, it was Dr. King that says, just take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. You know, I was really inspired by him, and this is why I recorded this. And seeing his speech when he gave to a college in America before he passed away, or murdered, I should say, really inspired me to look at myself and look at my children, look at my grandson, look at the people I associate with, and look at my own blueprint. You know, am I proud of my blueprint? Am I proud of what people perceive me to be? I don't really care what people perceive me of who they are. I need to know that I'm proud of myself, that I'm irradiating the right energy about who I truly am. Because if I'm not giving my true self, I'm failing. I'm failing my parents. I'm failing me. I'm failing God more than anything else. But my blueprint comes from me and comes from God. God's given me my blueprint, and it's down to me to create myself, to create where I'm going, to create this majesty. So when Jace is old enough and he comes up to me and goes, Grandpa, who are you? I'm your grandpa, I'll say to him. What does that mean? I am the template of you. I'm a part of that majesty that created, that came down the line to where you arrived at. So there was me and your grandma and your nan created your dad, and then they created you. And you are part of that chain of great leaders, mentors, kings and queens that have came before you. Stand strong, look up, and be proud. That's what I'll be saying to Jace, my grandson. And the same thing you should be saying to yourself. Who is your ancestors? Who are they? Where did they come from? You know, they do this ancestry stuff, but reality, look at your mum and your dad. Look at the areas they originate. If they're from another country, look at the country they came from. Do a bit of digging. Have a look. The only way you can move forward is by looking backwards sometimes. When you're not behind you and not your imperfections, there's your template, what's behind you. That template behind you is what's created is standing before you right now. And amazingly, you can do great things once you've done this. But if you don't do this, you're going to be stuck and you won't be able to move forward, or you're going to struggle to move forward. So my advice to you would be, find your blueprint. When you find your blueprint, respect it, keep it sacred, and grow from it. Don't go through it, grow through it, and love it. Now I'm going to end it on that, and I hope that's helped. It's not a very long one. I don't think it is in a way. But I'll see you in my next video. And you know what? Keep safe, look after yourself, and look after others. But remember, always work on you. And I'll see you in my next video. And namaste.